Hey folks, welcome back to WarThunder. So today we are taking out the Leopard 2A5 in a sim battle on the Mozdok map. This map's pretty unbalanced towards the Russian team, but the reason that we're playing the top tier event today is to see how it changes with the new spawn point system. And I say new because it's new to me. It was actually introduced on the 1st of May. Been doing some googling around and found the forum post talking about why they've introduced the changes and what they actually are. It's actually a test, but it's a longer test than normal. I'm quite liking it, if I'm being honest. The basic premise of what it offers for the content of this video is that you basically get 1,000 spawn points to begin with. Tanks cost 300 each. Aircraft cost 300 with no ordnance or 450 with ordnance. So if you want to bring out a ground attacker with bombs or rockets or a heli with ATGMs, it basically means that you lose the ability to bring a second tank. So you sacrifice a tank spawn for that ordnance essentially. And for whatever reason, even though helis are easily powerful enough to justify doing that, people on the whole, they must not like to have to give up a tank spawn. So even though 450 spawn points for a fully laden KA-50, KA-52 or a Viper, for example, means you could actually bring two in. I was very worried that the spam would be even worse than before, because top tier sim has been basically dead for a while now because of how insanely brokenly overpowered helicopters are. But this change on paper really sounds like it should make the problem even worse, but weirdly it's improved it. And I'm not sure exactly why that is or how it is. I understand the mechanics of the mode and the changes that they've made, but the psychology behind helicopter pilots not wanting to fly anymore because they have to give up a tank doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm not going to complain about it because it means that I get to have actually good tank battles again, without there being as much interference from helicopters, which used to just completely suck the fun and satisfaction out of it entirely. So with this new revelation, I've been having quite a lot of fun today taking out the Leopard 2A5, as you see here. I've actually been grinding out the G91R3 so that I can get the AS20 Nords as a sort of FJ4B bullpup slinging equivalent. So I now have another very powerful cast jet to bring out. Unfortunately it's still on the NATO team, so it doesn't really help balance things very much having two of the best cast jets on the same team, but it is what it is. So I'll be hoping to get some footage of that at some point, although it will have to be in about 3 days when this event rotation rolls around again. Aside from that, I've also been playing some of the lesser sub-meta, I should say, vehicles, because having multiple spawns, you can bring three different tanks into a tank sim battle now. And basically what that means is that you're seeing a bit more variety and people are bringing out the tanks that aren't like the tippy toppest of top tier anymore. So I actually had an epic game in the Challenger 1 earlier. The Challenger 1 is actually still very relevant when you're fighting Russia because their top dart can't get through its turret. Actually makes the Challenger 2 a little bit underwhelming, because the Challenger 2's shell isn't better enough than the Challenger 1 shell for you to not still have to aim for the same weak spots on the T8TU, which is like 90% of what you see. And the armour on the Challenger 1, if you're playing it correctly and you hold down, then it offers you no advantages over the Challenger 2 really, to be honest. And the mobility is exactly the same, top speed is the same. But it's not a Challenger 2 video, it's a Leopard 2A5 video. And oddly, the Leopard 2A5 is basically a better Challenger 2 because it can do everything that the Challenger 2 does, but better. And it's actually mobile as well, so it does better and more, because you can use it to cap points and all that other shenanigans. But I've been a bit of a scumbag and just camping this game because I've just missed not having to worry about helicopters, and now that I'm not having to worry about helicopters, I don't have to keep constantly moving around, I don't have to keep constantly looking at the sky. And so just for a little bit, I want to just bask in the helicopterlessness of top tier sim and just upset people. More victims. I'm not sure why or how these people aren't hitting me, because with this new parallax change, you can literally just laze the target and aim directly at them. You don't have to, if the laser is accurate, you don't need to account for the parallax anymore, because it points the gun directly at your point of aim. And when this change first came in, I thought it might ruin top tier sim a little bit, because armor weak spots are quite small on tanks at top tier, generally speaking. And the parallax sort of gave top tier sim a bit of an armor matter, because you had to actually properly try and aim to hit weak spots. But with this change coming in, you don't need to anymore, because you can just point and click. It's a bit like having an RB sight. It's actually kind of more accurate than having an RB sight, because it does the vertical for you as well. It's not just down the barrel accurate, but it's accurate in every other axis as well. It is literally point and click. The only thing you have to think about is the lead. But despite that, it seems that either a lot of people don't bother with it, or don't know. Which leads me on to the... there's a new thing where you can basically, if you laser target, it will tell you if it's enemy or not. And despite this feature now being in the game, I'm still seeing team killing galore as per usual. And earlier on, in fact, it's kind of odd to talk about the timeline like this, but in the last video one of the last videos, the opening sequence was me and the M60A3 juggling like 3 targets, and one of them was a BMP-1, and I swear blind it had the little German insignia on it, but it was the Russian one, so I don't know if that's a decal that you can add. But I didn't even think, I mean, he was right in my face, so I wasn't going to use this ally detection thing on him anyway, because he was literally right there. But if he hadn't shot me and basically done no damage, I would have just assumed he was a friendly. But you see, no allies at coordinates. That was a pretty dirty cannon breach shot. But anyway, lots of rambling. That's the end of the game. Would have had 8 kills if it wasn't for that annoying kill steal at some point. But look at the gains. When you don't die, when you do well, the gains. I hope you enjoyed the video, folks. Keep an eye out for future uploads, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.